So the other day I was talking to my ISTP boyfriend about something that I can't even remember, but I was explaining why I thought something or why I felt something, and he was arguing with me, and I was like, I don't understand why everything I say you always have to argue with, like you just love arguing. And I said it kind of like playfully, you know, like I wasn't like necessarily annoyed with that, but then he was just like, it's not that I don't agree with you, you just haven't reached the burden of proof yet with your argument. And so he was like, I'm just going to argue until you have reached a burden of proof with what you're saying. And then it just clicked to me. I was like, I don't care about the burden of proof because I'm not trying to change your mind. I don't care what you think. And that's what sort of clicked to me about ENFJs. It might be very persuasive, but we're never trying to change anyone's mind. And I want everyone to think for themselves. And so whenever people are like, there are holes in your argument or whatever, like, I don't really care. Like, my objective is not to change your mind. My objective is to explain why I think or feel the way that I do and why I believe something that I do. And so this is going to be a very short video, but that was just very baffling to me to think like, oh, like that's why thinkers in general, especially TJs, might be confused by me and like argue with me like about like politics or something, or like even about Myers-Briggs whenever I'm sharing my opinions on this channel, and people may agree or disagree in the comments, and like thinkers that I know that disagree with my political beliefs on Facebook. I'm never trying to convince them because I just assume that they're gonna think for themselves, and I'm just really not interested in convincing, because I think that all I really can do is explain why I believe a certain thing and give my reasoning and my logic. And that's the thing, is with such terrible extroverted thinking, I don't really think in terms of objective logic. I think in terms of my subjective logic. Like, this is my rational belief why I do things. Like, for example, I'm vegetarian now. I want to be fully vegan. I'm like on the path to being vegan. When I explain to people, I'm like, well, I came to the conclusion that I couldn't live, like after I looked at the studies that show the environmental impact of meat and dairy products in that industry, I couldn't like live with myself contributing to contributing to global warming, and climate change is a big issue for me. And especially since I don't really believe that the government is making that a top priority right now, I felt in my heart that I just have to do whatever I can do at this moment to make it better, like in my power. Like, this is in my control. I already voted in the election. So if they don't represent that, that's fine. Like, but I can be in control of my own actions. And whenever I explain that to people, it's like, I'm not trying to tell you that you should be vegan or that this is why everyone should be vegan, or really, like, I just like to explain why I think things, and I want to be respected for my beliefs, but I'm never trying to convince anyone. And so, yeah, I'm never gonna reach the burden of proof. I'm never gonna have a convincing argument because I don't care. Like, I will tell you why I disagree, but that's completely different than like I don't really enjoy arguing to find out who's right and who's wrong. Like, if I find that I'm wrong, then I very quickly will like contend, like, oh, you're right. Like, hopefully this video makes sense, but yeah, I mean, I just like explaining my points and explaining my logic, but maybe this is just like an example of like inferior introverted thinking, where whenever it comes out, it is just to explain myself and why I think and feel what I do, but it's never, like, I just don't care about convincing other people. Like, they can live their life. Like, I don't care. All right. Thanks for watching this video, and have a happy Monday.